Hi guys, this is Rosa Kelly. So today we're gonna be doing a quick and easy mini album using only your leftover pieces. So let's go ahead and get to it. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to do another mini album using only our scraps. So I have all kinds of different pieces. These are old heavyweight cardstock, and I always save these from when I make like 8x8 album pages, and I have these random leftover pieces, and I figure we can do something fun with that. And these ones as well, these ones are just a little bit skinnier. Then I also have some leftover cheaper pieces, and if you don't have your leftovers, you can easily cut one. I'm gonna be cutting this, so I don't want to tell you what this measures, but I'm using something like this for the spine. I might need something bigger for my spine, but and then I am going to be using 2 pieces of lightweight cardstock. This is going to be actually 3 pieces. This is going to be for binding and also for our hinges for our book. So last time that I did, not too long ago, a video using my scraps, I created a cute little 4x4 mini album, and it is adorable, but I figured this time we can do something different, maybe a long skinny book. So I'm going to start with my chipboard, and actually I'm going to work in reverse and see what my scraps measure, and I have all kinds. I'm going to take the larger ones. So my scraps measure exactly 4 inches. So these are 4x8.5, most of these at least, and I'm going to make my album be about maybe 4.5. No, let's do 4 3/4. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut these like that. So this is gonna be 4 3/4, and let's see what's a good proportion. Maybe we can do 8 inches. Okay, so 4 3/4 by 8 inches, and I'm going to need 2. So here is 8 inches and 4 3/4, just right here. Okay, so then for my spine, I think I actually want to do, this is 2 inches. Let's see, I think 2 inches will be good. It's a good proportion for a mini album. So I'm just gonna cut this at 8 inches. So the spine is going to be 2x8. And there you go. So now that we have the size of the binding figured out, we can go ahead and cut our cardstock for our pages. Now, like I said, mine measure 8.5 by 4 inches. So I'm going to need probably 8 of those pieces. So I just want to make sure I have 8 of the same size, and some of these are lightweight. See, I have all kinds of scraps in here, and I have some more, so it's okay. So these right here measure 8.5, so that's good. So I'm gonna need 4 pieces of 4 inches by 8.5, and then I'm going to need 4 pieces of 4 inches by 7.5. So these are lightweight. Let me grab more heavyweight. Okay, so here are more heavyweight pieces. These ones are a little larger, so I'm going to cut these at 4 by 7.5. Okay, and by heavyweight, I'm using 110-pound cardstock, so that's what I mean. And then I'm using here 2 more because I'm gonna need 4 of each. Okay, and 4 inches right there. Okay, so now that we have all the base figured out, we can go ahead and start putting these together. So I'm going to start with the pages. So the pieces that measure 8.5 by 4, I'm going to score 1/2 inch. Okay, so let's move this over, and I'll grab a tool, And then I'm going to score 1/2 inch along the 8.5 inches. Okay, and then 8 inches. So there you go. So we're gonna do the same for all of these 4 pieces. 1/2 inch and 8.5, 1/2 inch and 8.5, and then 1/2 inch and 8.5. And then we're going to fold along the score lines and add some double-sided tape. So there you go. So I'm just gonna fold here and here, and we're going to add some tape just like that. And then I'm going to cut right there, and same thing here. Okay, and then I want this album to be quick and easy as well. I want this to be kind of like a last minute gift idea if you have any of those to make. So we're gonna make this super quick, and we're gonna make the layouts really easy. So even when we do our design paper, we can just cut a bunch at the same size. Okay, so I'm just going to finish up with the other 2. Okay, so now that I have my double-sided tape, I'm going to join these 2 together to make the pages. So we're going to peel off the tape to the sides and just join these 2. And then I'm going to press down right there and remove the tape. And then I'm going to do the same here on this other side and take that out. And then we're going to continue doing all of these pages. So again, I'm going to pull the tape to the sides and join these 2 just like that, and then remove the tape. And then we're going to do the same right here, and there you go. And then we have the next 2 pages. Let's just do the same. And I think this is going to be a really cute, like probably back to school album. My girls went back to school this week, and it has been a crazy week. So I haven't been able to craft much or do many videos as I used to, as we're getting used to homeschooling again, and work is busy. It's just so much going on. It feels like the world is completely drastically changing, not just because of the COVID, but then here in California we have all the fires going on, and it's been really bad. The air has been really bad. Just anyway. So we're trying to have a relaxing weekend, and I'm just crafting because that is the best therapy for me. So I'm going to now use my lightweight cardstock and join these 2 pieces together. So let me see if I can find the end of this tape and just put that right there. And then we are going to peel off the tape and add these right here. Okay, and then we're going to add our chipboard pieces. So I'm going to start with the small piece here, which is my spine, and I'm just going to glue these down. I'm running out of glue on this one, and it's funny because I've been running out of glue for a week now, and I went ahead and ordered a whole new set. Look at this. I got this on Amazon, and it comes with a little bottle and the tip, which I lost mine, and then another refill. So I've been dying to open this up, but this is never ending. So Anyway, I thought it was funny how I was rushing to get a new one because I was running out of glue. And a week later, I still haven't finished my glue, and I really just want to finish it out. Okay, so then I'm placing this other one. You want to see about an 1/8 of an inch difference in between your chipboard pieces. And we're gonna do the same here on this one. Okay, so then I'm going to add that right there. And then I like to have only about an inch around, or even if it's more, I just like the 4 sides to be right about equal. And so I'm just gonna trim these out just a little bit like that. And then we're going to trim out the corners. And I have this tool. I've shown you this one before, and I got a lot of questions because it really helps you know where you trim your paper. And even myself, making so many albums before, it was hard for me to figure out how close to cut the cardstock from the chipboard. And sometimes I did it too close, sometimes I did it too far. So even for myself that I've done so many books, it's a great help, this little tool. And I love it. So I'm going to place this right here, and I'm just gonna mark with my X-Acto knife where I'm gonna cut. And same thing right there. Okay, and then I'm going to put the link to my rendering on the description box if you guys like to check out this little ruler. I always seem to forget to add the link, so if I forget, please put it on the comments, and I'll make sure to remember to find the link again. So I'm just gonna take out these 4 corners like that. Oops. You can just repeat, but yeah. Okay, so now we're just going to massage the cardstock, and we're going to slowly bend it so it doesn't crack. And now I'm going to add some tape on here. So we're just gonna do our tape, and I'm gonna cut that out. And then I'm going to peel off well, before I peel off the tape, let me finish folding this in. Okay, so now I'm gonna give it a good fold and take out the tape. And there you go. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. First I massage the cardstock, and then I'm gonna give it a good fold and add more tape right there. And I'm going to cut this, and then I'm going to peel off the tape and just press down. And then for the sides, you want to do exactly the same. So you're going to massage, but then you're gonna see your corners kind of come out to the side, so I like to push them in. Okay, so I just do this with my nails and add some tape right there. There you go. And then I'm just gonna continue folding. Okay, so make sure your corners are tucked in. And then I'm going to peel off this tape and close this. And then we're gonna do the same on this other side. So I'm just gonna fold, tuck. It's like a technique, right? Fold, tuck. Then we're gonna do tape. And then finally, we're just gonna press this. Oops. Let's press this right here and remove the tape. And we're gonna close this. Just like that. So now we have our binding ready. And then what I'm going to do is just mark here on the gap lines, the bending lines. I'm just gonna give it a score. I'm gonna score right here and right there, so your page can fold without making a bubble up in there. Okay, so there you go. Now we have our base. Look how cute this looks. I love it. And now we also have our pages that we made right here. So I think I'm gonna love this new size of album. But okay, so now we're gonna work on the hinges. So for the hinges, I cut my paper at 7 1/4, and this is still measures 11 inches, but I'm going to trim that at the end. So I'm going to start here at 1, and I'm going to start at 1 1/2. Okay, and then I'm going to score at 2 1/4 and 3 inches, and this is going to be my first hinge. And for my gusset, I'm only going to use a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to score at 3 1/2, and then I'm going to do 4 1/4 and 5 and 5 1/2, and then 6 1/4 and 7. So 7 1/2, and then we're going to do 8 1/4, 9 inches. Okay, and that's where we're going to stop. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 hinges. So then we're going to join those 3/4 inch sections and form our first hinge. Okay, so you're gonna put those two together. I'm gonna just fold this one right here too. Okay, so then this is your first hinge, and then I'm going to skip the 1/2 inch section and join the next 2 together, and then same thing for the rest of these. So I'm going to join those 2. Okay, so then I'm just going to press down all of them together and then fold it to the other sides and press down together again. And then we're going to turn this to the back and extend it. And I'm going to add glue on one of the sides. You can use tape as well if you like. So I'm just going to add glue on one of the hinges, one of the sides, and then join them together. Okay, so then I'm going to press down, and let me clean that up. Then I'm going to do the next one, and then we're going to close these. Okay, and then we're just going to continue with the next 2. So I'm going to press down, and then I'm going to do the last one and press down. Oops. Okay, and then we're going to turn this to the other side. And we're going to add double-sided tape on each one of the hinges. So I'm going to start, cut that out. Okay, so I'm going to start right here. And you want your tape to be on the closest to the outside edge of your hinge. And I'm just gonna do one side and the back side as well. Oops. Okay, so just like that. And then I'm going to add the tape on each one of these. So here you go. Now I have all of my tape added on each one of the hinges. And I'm now going to bring back my base here. And I'm going to glue this in. Now I'm going to center my hinges within the spine, just like that. So the gusset from the front and the back, it's going to be a little bit smaller, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna add glue all over here. And now I am ready to glue this down. So you want to center the hinges within your spine, and then you also want to center the top and the bottom. And then I'm just gonna press down. Okay, press down, and then I'm going to press in between each one, right here as well. And there you go. Okay, so you want to give this a minute to dry, and then I'm going to score on my bending line again. So you're gonna see the little gap here. You're gonna fill that with your tool, and I'm just gonna line these two up and gently score right there. And then I'm going to do the same on this other side. So we're just gonna score. Okay, and then you're going to hold these and bend, and then same thing on the other side. And I hold it that way it doesn't bubble up or anything in there. Okay, so there you go. So now we have our 4 little hinges into our book, and now we're going to add the pages. Now before I add the pages, I'm going to add some layouts, and like I said, I'm gonna keep this very simple and very uniform, so we can just do a bunch at the same time in terms of like cutting your design paper at the same size and all that. So I'm going to use some more of my scraps. So my scrap pieces measure 3.5 by 8.5. So I am going to cut 8 pieces at 3.5 by 8 inches. Okay, so I'm just going to trim down to 8 inches, and you can use whatever size your scraps are. Just make sure that they're all like the same width, and they will be 8 inches on height. So I'm going to do 4 more. So here is 2. So again, I'm trimming this down to 8 inches, and then the last 2, 8 inches. Okay, and then I'm gonna put this aside. This is going to be size 1, and we're gonna have size 2, which is going to be also 3.5, but I'm going to cut these ones down to 7.5. So I'm just going to put that right there, and these are going to be 3.5 by 7.5, and I'm also going to need 8 of those. So 7.5. And then that's the good thing about having scraps, that they are all basically the same size, so it makes it easy. And these are all leftovers from when I make mainly 8 by 8 mini albums. Okay, so then that, and then I need 2 more. Cut those right there, and then I still have plenty more scrap pieces to make a couple more of these little books. So all of these I'm just going to put on the recycle bin, and now we're going to go ahead and score. So we have 2 sizes, so 3.5 by 7.5 and 3.5 by 8. So I'm going to start with the 3.5 by 7.5. So these ones I'm going to score along the 3.5 inches at 1/2 inch. Okay, so there we go. And I'm going to do the same for these 8 pieces. So my pieces that measure 3.5 by 8, I'm going to score along the 8-inch side, again at 1/2 inch. Okay, so I'm going to do the same for all of these 8 pieces. Okay, so I have all of my pieces ready, and we are going to fold along the score lines, and I'm going to show you how to build one page, and then we're going to repeat the same for all the pages. So I'm going to do 2 of each of these pages. Okay, so I have 2 of this one and 2 of the one with the score on the top, and I'm going to bring my base page here, and I'm going to do 1 on each side on the front. Okay, so for the first side I'm going to do 1 here. Let me go ahead and press this down, and then I'm going to add my tape, my glue, and then just line it up to the other side. Okay, so this is going to be, I'm gonna call this side A. Okay, so side A is gonna have these 2 openings like that, and then we're gonna work on side B, and these are going to be the same, just basically up and down. So I'm going to add 1 on the top right there. Okay, we're gonna center that, and then we're going to add 1 on the bottom, and again I'm going to center this, and there you go. Really quick and simple. This is how you are going to do each one of your pages. So now I have my 4 pages ready, and I'm going to add them into my book. So we have one side and the other side. So I'm going to have this one on the front and the other one on the back, but you can definitely do it any way you like. And I'm just going to peel off the tape and find the center of my base page here, and I'm just going to add that right on top of my tape. Okay, and then we're going to remove this tape and turn this to the back and take these off as well. And then I'm going to peel off the tape here and do the same. Okay, so I'm going to find the center and insert that into my hinge, and then we're going to remove the tape. Okay, and then turn this back and take off the tape on the back, and then I'm going to do the same to the next 2 pages. So there you go. Now we have our pages added into our book, and the last thing we're gonna do is work on the inside covers, and for that I'm going to cut 4 pieces. I'm gonna open that up, and again I'm using my scraps, so these are going to be cut at 7 3/4. So let's do that, by 4 1/2. Okay, so we need 4 of those, 7 3/4 by 4 1/2, and we are going to score 2 of these pieces at 1/2 inch. So let's do 1/2 inch along the 4 1/2 inch side. Okay, so just 2 of these pieces will be scored, and I'm going to fold along the score lines, and then we're going to add our tape. So here I have my 4 pieces, and I'm going to start by adding the first 2. So these are the ones that did not have the score line, so I'm going to glue 1 here. Okay, so let's see. I'm just gonna glue that right there. okay, on our inside cover. And then we're going to add the one with the score tape. Okay, so now we're going to add the one with the score tape. I'm just gonna peel off the tape and just line this up on the side. And then we're gonna remove the tape. And there you go. So now we have the inside cover. And for the back cover, we're gonna do exactly the same. So I'm just going to glue this down right there, like so. And I'm going to press down. And then we're going to add the piece with the score tape. And we're gonna do this one, oops, there you go, like this, along the side. Just like that. And there you go, you are done with your mini album. So this was really quick and easy, and we're using only scrap pieces. I hope that you guys enjoy this tutorial, and this is going to be one of the projects that I'm adding on my upcoming magazine. So yeah, and if you're not subscribed to my magazine, I still have the 2020 subscription open. So if you haven't got any of the magazines for this year, it's a really good deal because you're basically gonna get 6 for the price of 4. And I still have 2 more coming out this year. And if you have purchased any of the magazines by itself, for the 2020 and you want to upgrade to the subscription, send me an email. That way I can just rebate the cost. That way you still have the 6 for 4 deal, since I decided to have it open all year. And so yeah, so I'm excited to get that done and ready to send for you guys. And I really hope that you guys enjoy this tutorial, and I hope that you give it a try. I think it's a really quick and simple album to do, very last minutes for a fun little gift. So I'm gonna have the link to my website on the description box down below, and I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.